Welcome, dear friends, to Cardiac Radio at 11 p.m., nourishing our souls with the laws of love. The Laws of Love is a book that was psychographed by two mediums, but one spirit author, which is a phenomenon to be studied in science one day because we'll see that there is no difference in the chapters. All chapters were psychographed by Waldo Vieira, who was a physician and a dentist, spiritist. Chico Xavier psychographed the even chapters, and he only had the fourth grade. Amazing, because we're going to read this book and we'll find no different style. But this book is also unique. It came in 1963, and it's a book that talks about the spiritist perspective on suffering. Emmanuel says that it's an educational booklet. It contains 8 chapters to talk about all the topics. So if you've missed the previous programs, we're going to recall here, and even if you haven't, we're going to remind ourselves that he talks about 8 major themes: the spiritual causes of illnesses, chapter 2, relatives and affiliations in the family, social and professional choice, which is chapter 3, chapter 4, divorce, suicide, abortion, chapter 5, obsession, chapter 6, consequences of the past, chapter 7, treatment of illnesses and spiritism, and chapter 8, redemption. We are studying chapter 1, the spiritual causes of illnesses. Well, let us recall the name of the book, Laws of Love. Why? If we're talking about suffering, where is justice? That's what we studied yesterday, right? God is so loving and just that he allows us to learn with our own mistakes and its consequences because we're under the laws of God's love. Of course, that's the love we're talking about. God's love, not any love, God's love, which is supreme, sovereign, all-encompassing, and deeply empowering. Today we're studying question number 5 in chapter 1, understanding the spiritual causes of illnesses. They asked Emmanuel, what does the spirit do before reincarnating in order to progress, to better him or herself? What do we do in between reincarnations aiming at our transformation? And the answer, before reincarnation, we ourselves, under responsibility, we analyze our vulnerable points in our own soul, advocating on our behalf in terms of some concessions of physical impediments that in a certain time will immunize us before the possibility of recurring in the same mistakes that we have been doing in previous lives. Let's catch our breath. This is a lot. It's huge because Emmanuel is talking about something that we forgot. Let's get the book, The Messengers, by André Luiz through Chico Xavier. He talks about the whole preparation before a reincarnation. And in the following book, The Missionaries of the Light, he explains to us in a case of Segismundo the whole preparation. Since no solar, he shows the department, the Institute of Reincarnation, where every detail is cared for. Of course, we're free to choose, but we, at some point, we ask, since we know where we failed, we ask for impediments, constrictions, and restrictions. And then we are here now and we don't like it. We think, I am good enough if I get that job. Because if I don't get that job, I'm not good enough. If my company makes $10 million a year, I'm successful, or I'm not successful. If I am as beautiful as X top model, I love myself, or I don't. So then, if I have a child, I will feel great and happy. If I don't, if my child is sick, I feel sad as if God is punishing me. So, this is the mindset we have now. But when we were to reincarnate, we understood that these restrictions, constrictions, impediments are saving graces. Let's go to the book Memoirs of a Suicide. In the Institute Mary of Nazareth, they have what they call moral therapy, where we revisit, as Emmanuel says, the vulnerable points of our soul. And we ask and we advocate, he says, please, I want to go back blind. I want to go back poor. I want to go back this way. And I understand why. But then when we're here, we forget. What are we missing? One, God. Because if God loves us and God allows us to go through whatever we go through, it's a sign that we need that experience to grow. But it's also an opportunity to reinvent myself in creativity to overcome the impediments when possible. We're going to see Helen Keller, for example, advocating for the blind, helping all the people who need not only inclusion, but tools to be educated, to continue their march in a dignified way. So, our experiences, when we think that surrendering to God's designs is simply to stay put, that's not what it means. It means that deep inside, I understand. I'm not rebellious, but I'll make an effort to overcome my limitations if that's beneficial also for the general good. So that's a rule of thumb. If what I'm marching or advocating for here, surpassing my limitations, restrictions, and constrictions, will benefit everyone, then we shall do it. Some people are sad because they don't have money for plastic surgery. That's the type of sadness that is fruitless because working hard just to get their money is not absolutely, unless it's something that is vital, but just out of vanity, it's not beneficial to the whole. So, a rule of thumb is if what I am advocating for, if I am working on overcoming my restrictions and constrictions to benefit more people, not only our families, but more people, we're never going to fail. So let us meditate on this. And if you're asking, what are we going to do in the next 24 hours, Vanessa? I'm already reincarnated. Well, Since when we were there, we knew our vulnerable points, and you and I are close to stepping into the world of regeneration that we're building as we speak. We are, and I'll share the whiteboard to reinforce this. If you're just listening to this, visualize it. But this is the goal. We're here to regenerate ourselves. When we were discarnated, we were asking for restrictions according to our vulnerable points. What Kardec talks about is instinctive tendencies. So let us then think about this. Instinctive tendencies that lead us to reincarnatory plans, a plan that will help us overcome these tendencies and boost our virtues. So, restrictions, constrictions, impediments. What are we supposed to do in the next 24 hours according to this? To meditate on these vulnerable points here. Okay, I'll write it again without a typo. Vulnerable points. We're not going to think bad things about ourselves. No, that's not what we mean. We're not going to be here thinking, oh, I'm a bad person. No, we're going to think about, oh, these are the things I need to focus. What is your central theme in this life? Why did you reincarnate? Why did I reincarnate? Look at this little girl. She made her reincarnatory plan, the background picture, and she has the planets in her hand, her schools, and she has little luggage marching towards her regeneration. There's hope, even only if we focus. We can no longer afford being distracted. We don't have a minute to spare in things we've done for so many lives. Selfishness and pride does not pay off. We're tired, sick, literally sick and tired in our planet. The pandemic, we need to overcome it by knowing our vulnerable points and planning on adjusting them. So this is our homework in the next 24 hours. Think about the main points that we need to adjust, the instinctive tendencies, the vulnerable points, and be courageous. And repeat to yourself, I can do it. I want to regenerate myself. I was born to learn to do the good. So, dear friends, the laws of divine love invite us for the new, to generate anew, regenerate, but we only do it with consciousness. Let's put mind over matter and evaluate our vulnerable points and be courageous, focusing on this, repeating to ourselves, I can do it. I was born to regenerate myself, to begin anew. Under the laws of God, which is love and only love, we can do it. We wish you, dear friends, many blessings during this wonderful day, meditating on the beauty of our regeneration, thanking God for this single opportunity. Let's maximize it by being fully aware of it. You have protector spirits to help you in this journey. We hope you enjoy it. We hope to see you also tomorrow here in another episode of Laws of Love with Emmanuel here at Cardiac Radio. Thank you, friends.